In the blistering heat of the 1880s Montana frontier, where the endless prairie stretched like a forgotten promise under a merciless sun, Eliza Hawthorne stood trembling before the weathered ranch house, her worn boots sinking into the dust-choked earth. She had traveled for weeks on a rickety wagon train, fleeing the ghosts of a life that had chewed her up and spat her out, abandoned by a husband who sneered at her curves, ridiculed by townsfolk who saw only her size and not the fire in her soul. Now, with nothing but a faded dress clinging to her ample frame and a heart heavy as the mountains on the horizon, she knocked on the door of Harlan Blackwood, the reclusive rancher known for his gruff demeanor and iron will. As the door creaked open, revealing his stern face etched with years of solitude, Eliza whispered the words that had haunted her dreams. "No one loves a fat girl, sir, but I can cook." It was a plea wrapped in desperation, a last-ditch offering of her one undeniable gift, and in that moment, the wind seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the rancher's reply that could either shatter her or rebuild her from the ashes. If this opening has already tugged at your heartstrings and you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, please hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, share this video with someone who needs a reminder of hope, and subscribe to Gentle Hearts for more stories that celebrate the human spirit. Eliza's journey to that dusty doorstep had been a tapestry of quiet agonies, woven from the threads of a childhood spent in the shadow of her slender sisters, where every family gathering amplified the whispers and sidelong glances that branded her as the unlovable one. Born into a modest farming family in Ohio, she learned early that beauty was a currency she lacked, but in the kitchen, amid the sizzle of butter and the aroma of fresh-baked bread, she found a sanctuary where her hands could create magic that words never could. Her mother, a frail woman with a gentle smile, had taught her the secrets of hearty stews that warmed the soul and pies that melted away sorrows, but even those lessons came laced with pitying advice. "Learn to cook, dear, for it's all you'll have to offer." By the time Eliza married young to escape the pity, her husband, a charming drifter named Thomas, had initially been drawn to her warmth, only to reveal his true colors in the cruel nights that followed, mocking her body as they lay in the dim light of their cramped cabin, his words slicing deeper than any knife. He left her one rainy dawn, taking their meager savings in her last shred of confidence, forcing her to sell the farm and join the westward migration in search of a fresh start, where perhaps the vastness of the land could swallow her insecurities whole. The wagon train was a brutal crucible, testing Eliza's resolve with every jolt over rocky terrain and every night huddled against the cold, her fellow settlers a mix of dreamers and desperados who eyed her with a blend of sympathy and dismissal. She cooked for the group to earn her keep, her skillet becoming a bridge to fleeting connections, children's eyes lighting up at her apple fritters, weary mothers sighing in relief over her nourishing broths, but always, the undercurrent of judgment lingered, the unspoken belief that a woman like her was destined for spinsterhood or servitude. Whispers around the campfire painted her as pitiable, the fat girl who could feed an army but never capture a heart, and in those lonely hours staring at the stars, Eliza wrestled with a storm of self-doubt, tears silently tracing paths down her cheeks as she questioned if she was truly unworthy of love, if her worth was confined to the flavors she coaxed from simple ingredients. Yet, deep within, a spark of defiance flickered. She had survived loss, betrayal, and the unforgiving trail, her body carrying her forward with a strength that belied the softness others scorned, and it was that resilience that led her to abandon the train at a fork in the road, drawn by rumors of Harlan Blackwood's sprawling ranch. A man in need of a cook after his wife's untimely death left him alone with vast acres in a hollow home. Arriving at the ranch, Eliza's heart pounded like thunder as Harlan appraised her from the porch, his eyes sharp under the brim of his hat, a man forged by the land's harsh demands. Widowed young, he had buried his dreams of family alongside his beloved Sarah, turning inward to battle the isolation that gnawed at him like winter wolves. He needed help, that much was clear from the overgrown yard and the sparse meals he managed alone, but Eliza's whispered confession hung in the air like smoke, her voice barely audible over the rustle of wind through the cottonwoods. "No one loves a fat girl, sir, but I can cook." It was more than an offer, it was a vulnerability laid bare, a gamble that her skills might outweigh the prejudices that had dogged her life. Harlan paused, his rough hands clenching the doorframe, memories of his own losses flashing in his mind. The way Sarah's laughter had filled the house, how her frail form had succumbed to fever, leaving him to question if love was a curse rather than a blessing. In Eliza, he saw not just a woman seeking employment, but a mirror to his own hidden wounds, and as the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the prairie, he felt an unexpected pull, a curiosity about this stranger who offered nourishment in more ways than one. What followed was a tentative dance of coexistence, where Eliza poured her soul into the kitchen, transforming Harlan's barren pantry into a haven of sense and sustenance, golden loaves of bread rising like hope, savory roasts that evoked forgotten comforts, and desserts that whispered of sweeter days ahead. Yet, the challenges mounted like gathering storm clouds. Harlan's initial gruffness masked a deeper grief, his silences heavy with unspoken pain, and Eliza's insecurities flared with every shared meal, her mind replaying the taunts of her past as she wondered if he saw her as merely a servant, her size a barrier to any genuine connection. Mornings brought the physical toll of ranch life, her body aching from hauling water and tending the garden, the isolation amplifying her doubts until she lay awake in her small room, stifling sobs that echoed the emptiness she feared would define her forever. Subtle shifts began to emerge, though, in the quiet evenings by the fire, where Harlan's stories of the land's beauty and brutality drew her out, his voice softening as he savored her cooking, complimenting not just the food but the care woven into it. One fateful night, after a brutal storm ravaged the fences, they worked side by side in the mud, Eliza's determination matching his own, her laughter breaking through the rain when she slipped and he caught her arm, a touch that lingered longer than necessary, igniting a spark neither dared name. As weeks turned to months, the ranch bloomed under their shared efforts, the once lonely house filling with the rhythm of companionship, Eliza's gardens yielding vibrant vegetables that enhanced her meals, Harlan teaching her to ride, his patience revealing a tenderness long dormant. But the true turning point came during a harsh winter blizzard, when supplies dwindled and illness struck Harlan, his feverish form reminding Eliza of her mother's final days, stirring a fierce protectiveness within her. She nursed him with broths simmered through sleepless nights, her hands gentle on his brow, and in his delirium, he murmured of lost love and hidden regrets, words that peeled back his armor and exposed a man yearning for connection. Awakening to her vigilant presence, Harlan saw Eliza anew, not through the lens of societal scorn, but as a woman of profound strength and warmth, her curves a testament to the abundance she brought into his life. The suspense of unspoken feelings built like the snowdrifts outside, each glance charged with possibility, until one crisp morning as spring thawed the land, Harlan took her hand by the kitchen window, his reply to her initial whisper finally voiced in a voice rough with emotion. "I've learned, Eliza, that love isn't about the shape of a body, but the depth of a heart, and yours has fed mine in ways I never knew I hungered for." Their bond deepened into a love that defied the frontier's hardships, Eliza blossoming in the acceptance she had craved, her cooking now a celebration rather than a compensation, the ranch becoming a beacon for weary travelers who marveled at the harmony they found there. Challenges persisted, droughts that tested their resolve, judgmental visitors who echoed old prejudices, but together, they faced them, Eliza's self-worth solidified not by Harlan's love alone, but by her own recognition of the beauty in her resilience, her body a vessel of endurance and grace. As the years unfolded, their story whispered through the valleys, a testament to second chances, inspiring others to look beyond appearances and embrace the nourishment of true connection, leaving Eliza to reflect on that fateful day with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that in offering her gift, she had received the greatest one in return. If this tale of transformation and love has touched your heart, stirred emotions you didn't expect, or reminded you of the beauty in imperfection, please show your support by liking this video, commenting below with your favorite moment, sharing it far and wide, and subscribing to Gentle Hearts for more uplifting narratives that heal the soul. Before we wrap up, I'd love for you to comment this line if it resonates: "Love sees the heart, not the mirror."